The day after. Boxing Day isn't about celebration, it's what comes after it. In the UK and Commonwealth countries, December 26th is when the holiday empties out. The decorations stay, the crowds disappear, and whatever happened remains. That's why Boxing Day works so well in horror. 28 days later. 28 days later doesn't begin with an outbreak. It begins after one. Jim wakes up in an abandoned hospital. London is empty. Celebration is gone. The damage is already done. What makes this terrifying isn't chaos. It is quiet. The horror of this story comes from the waking up too late and realizing the world has already changed without you. There is no event left to stop, only consequences to survive. The streets are decorated for a Christmas that no one's left to celebrate. The wrapping paper blows through empty intersections. The holiday happened. You missed it. And now you're alone with what remains. But sometimes you're not alone. You just wish you were. The Strangers. The Strangers takes place after a celebration. A couple returns home from a wedding. The night should be over. The event is done. They are ready to sleep. Instead, it begins. The attackers don't rush. They don't explain. They wait. This story works because it understands Boxing Day fair. No witnesses. No noise. No urgency. Just vulnerability exposed once everyone else has gone home. The horror isn't the invasion, it's the timing. You let your guard down because the important part was over. You survived the events. You made it home. And that's exactly when they come. Sometimes the aftermath isn't violence, it's suffocating. The Lodge. The Lodge exists in the quiet space between holidays. A woman and two children are snowed in at a remote cabin. Christmas has passed. There is nothing to look forward to. Just empty days stretching ahead. Isolation replaces warmth. Routine replaces comfort. The horror here isn't sudden. It is slow. Trauma lingers. Trust erodes. Reality bends. Objects go missing. Time feels wrong. No one remembers things the same way. This is Boxing Day horror at its most psychological. When nothing explodes, but everything breaks. The holiday is over. There's no rescue coming. You are trapped with people you thought you knew, and the silence makes everything worse. But what if you arrive somewhere and something already went wrong before you got there? The invitation. The invitation is about arriving late to a dinner party and slowly realizing the party was never what it seemed. Will reconnects with his ex-wife and her new husband. Everyone is polite. The wine flows. Old friends catch up. But something feels off. The more the night goes on, the more Will realizes this wasn't a reunion. It was a ceremony, and it already happened. What makes this disturbing isn't violence, it's realization. You weren't invited to celebrate, you were invited to participate. And by the time you understand what's happening, the doors are already locked. This is Boxing Day horror. You thought you were coming to something, but you were actually arriving to its aftermath. And some aftermath are designed, constructed, performed for an audience that's already judged you. Black Mirror, White Bear. In Black Mirror, White Bear, a woman wakes up with no memory. She's being chased. People are filming her. No one helps. Everywhere she goes, strangers just stand there, holding up their phones, watching. She runs. She fights. She survives. And then she learns the truth. This isn't an attack. It's a performance. The event already happened. She committed a crime. And now, every single day, she wakes up to relieve her punishment while tourists watch. The horror here isn't what's happening to her. It's that it happened yesterday too, and it will happen again tomorrow. Boxing Day horror at its cruelest. The celebration is over. The audience has already decided. You are just living through what they created. But the darkest aftermath is when humanity itself is already gone. Soma, a horror game. Soma doesn't care about collapse. It assumes it already happened. You wake up at the bottom of the ocean. Humanity is extinct. The surface is dead. And the facility you are in is populated by machines that think they are human. The world is broken. Humanity is fading. And survival itself feels meaningless. The horror here isn't death. It's continuation. You meet a woman who uploaded her consciousness before she died. You copy yourself into a machine. You keep moving forward. But toward what? There is no rescue, no rebuilding, no hope of returning to what was, living after the end, with nothing left to return to. That's Boxing Day horror in its purest form. The world moved on without you, and now you're left walking through the ruins, pretending there's still something worth reaching. Which of these do you think is the darkest Boxing Day horror story? Let me know in the comments.